Hey guys! So as some of you may already be aware from looking at my Instagram and Twitter, I've been recently testing the Form swim goggles for Tri-Velo bikes. These fancy bit of kit here. I've been trying them for quite a few months now actually, and my intention was to keep going and use them when the lakes opened and start using them in open water, but obviously with the whole coronavirus lockdown that's not going to happen. So we thought we'd get my review out to you guys now, and then hopefully if we're allowed to open water swim this year I can give them a go in the lakes as well. So if you haven't heard about these, they are a pair of goggles which have a mini computer on them. They do say that they are goggles with a see-through augmented reality display. Fancy. Which I took to mean it basically just means that we've got a heads-up display in the goggle itself, and that when you swim along you can get your swim data displayed in real time in front of you. So they display your distance, they can do pace per 100 metre. If you connect them to a polar heart rate monitor, they will also display your heart rate, and you can program it in to see how many minutes you spend in each zone. So all in all, pretty damn fancy. Like I said, I've been trying them for the last couple of months in the pool. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about how I found them to swim in. So as with a pair of goggles that cost this amount of money, you would expect they come in some pretty nice packaging. So that's the box that you get. With this, you get your charging cable, you get a little instruction manual, and you also get a nice big case, looks like that, with a choice of different nose pieces in it so you can get them to fit. So what you would normally expect from a pair of goggles, but I do like the big sort of safety case because I have been known to break things, so that suits me quite well. The goggles themselves then look like this. So this here is your miniaturized computer unit. So you can see it does make the goggles quite bulky, but actually when you're swimming with them, you don't really notice that. Like, they don't feel really wide on your face. I didn't really notice any difference, to be honest. So that's them. Your charging points are here. So as you would expect, you've got a USB charging point, and then you've got your controls here. So you can see the little buttons on the side. So when you come to set these up, you have to download the Form Swim app, and you can either, well, you have to set them up through that, but you can either change it so that the display is on the right or the left, so you can switch them around and then it won't be upside down. And you do all of those sorts of functions through the app on your phone. Because it's Bluetooth connectivity, you do have to have your phone in range, so I just left my phone in my swimming bag and left that on poolside. But as soon as you're connected, while you're swimming, you then do everything through these buttons here. These are pretty simple to use, so it'll tell you whether to press the front button or the back button, and you just follow the instructions on the screen. The polar heart rate monitor connects through a little mount here, and then it just sits on your temple and takes your heart rate off of there. Now, admittedly, I've actually never been able to turn this thing on, so you're meant to turn it on through there. You're meant to get a little red button or light. It's never happened. So that's a shame. I did really want to kind of see how accurate that was, or kind of just see how that is in terms of like swimming to heart rate zones and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to get that to work. Probably through either a faulty unit or me being an idiot, but Form have been really good. So I did do an Instagram post a couple of months ago and they immediately replied with some customer service help. So I can't fault Form for their customer service. That's good, we like it. So swimming with them. The screen is incredibly clear. So I think that was one of my major concerns, was that actually the data wouldn't be big enough, because of course that's quite tiny. You can probably see I've got mascara on the lens, but you can all just slightly see that sort of shadow that comes off the computer unit. So it's small. And I wondered whether or not you would be able to see it properly, but no problems at all. And they've put the information in kind of a greeny yellow tinge, so it shows up really well against the backdrop, so the blue backdrop of the pool. That's not an issue at all. The goggles fit nicely. Again, I was quite surprised because I struggle to find a pair of goggles which sit on my face and don't leak. So sort of sit comfortably in the eye socket, but no problems with leaking, no problems with fogging. And as a pair of goggles, they're quite nice, quite comfy. I kind of hate myself a little bit for saying this because there's nothing wrong with them. But I really didn't like swimming with the heads-up display. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way they display the data. They do exactly what they say on the box. You can choose what data pops up on the screen. You can change it set to set. You can change it midway through the swim and the pool. It's great, but I really didn't like it. So I felt like it sort of cut away my peripheral vision. So I felt like I was slowing down for every single turn, every single stop, every single tumble. I didn't like having people in the lane with me because I kind of was really conscious that I wasn't swimming straight. I think I was, but I just really couldn't get on with looking at something else, having a heads-up display whilst I was swimming. Now, I'm sure that's something that you get used to, but admittedly, because I was slowing down for turns and because I was altering my swim so much to get used to these, I actually stopped wearing them in anything other than a warm-up. So I would do my warm-up in them and then I would have to take them off and put my normal goggles on for my main set, because if I was wearing these, I wasn't hitting targets. Not hitting targets, not swimming properly. So that is possibly down to personal preference, in that maybe because I grew up being a swimmer and I don't know, I just couldn't focus on anything other than what was happening on the screen. Like I said, the information was interesting. There's nothing wrong with the goggles themselves as a piece of equipment. I think they're really quite impressive. I just didn't like it. That's why I wanted to try them out in the lakes as well, because I feel like they may be a little less disorientating, and because I've got more space around in an open water, I think the function where it tells you what your pace is per 100 would be really interesting. Just maybe not for me in the pool. I feel really bad saying that because they are brilliant. They're a great bit of kit. I just didn't get on with them very well. So yeah, take a look at my review. If you've got any questions, then just fling them across and I'll try and answer them. And hopefully, like I've said, when they let us in the lakes, I'll give them a go then and I'll see if my opinion changes slightly. Also, if you've got any recommendations about this, maybe I am being an idiot. So look, I do press it. Nothing comes up. Any help on that would be great. Any questions on these, give me a shout, and hopefully we will all be in the lake soon.